Hey, son of a bitch. Ah, God damn it. Hey guys, this is Eric. From Beaver Dam. It's story time. It's secret time. Secret story time. Um, so making sure this is recording because I just told the story and it didn't record. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Um, yeah. So the story I want to tell takes place when I'm like 18. Uh, I lived in this house called the Diagonal House in Sandpoint. It was fucking bananas. It was such a weird house. It was a really cool experience to live there, but it was such a bananas house. So yeah, this house was like a grip of people lived there. Like it was like two separate houses. It was like a front house and a back house, except the only way you could get to the back house was to go through the front house, which is just a long hallway, which is door, and just room, and then a tiny little kitchen at the end of this hallway, and then you'd leave the front house and you just walk this path and get to the back house. It was the only way to get to the back house. It was all fenced in, and just kids, just a shitload of kids that lived there. Um, so yeah, it was such a weird house. There was like a girl in the front room who had this big old girl had a huge swastika, like this big, tattooed on her back. It's weird. And then there was like a black girl living on our couch, like right outside of her room. It was just like the most insane house you've ever seen in your life. Just the most odd group of people. Um, and just so much like drugs and shitty activity going out. Always cops are always like watching the house. I can't believe it never got busted. But uh, yeah, I was like 18, just fresh out of high school, super novice to everything. So, anyways, the story takes place. Everyone in the house, or like the majority of the house, had went to a barter fair. A barter fair is like a, if you don't know what a barter fair is, it's like essentially a place a bunch of hippies meet up and drug addicts meet up out in the middle of private property, and you go bang on drums and take a bunch of drugs and just hang out. And yeah, it's ridiculous. So, anyways, like everyone in the house, I didn't, and a few other people didn't go. I don't know why I didn't go, but they all go to this barter fair, and they came back on like a Sunday night or something like that, and like we're all hanging out in the house, but like everyone's burnt because they just done a shitload of drugs, and they're just like sleeping. So this one kid named Luke, he asked if he can sleep in my room, and I had like a lazy boy chair in there, and so I was like, yeah, just go ahead and pass out in the lazy boy, and so he just passes out, turn the lights off, leave him in there. And then like eight of us were like hanging out in my buddy Mountain's room and just kicking it. But a little side note to the story is there was this dude that lived there named Adrian. He was like this just complete burnout fucking hippie dude. Like hippie as hippie can get. Like so ridiculous. What was weird about him though is he was absolutely ripped. Like so ripped. It was so weird when he'd take his shirt off, just 8 pack, just so ripped. But then like if he had his normal clothes on, like Big Lebowski style clothes on, just like more burnout than Big Lebowski. Like the dude like burnout, just always looked just weirdest dude. Such an odd duck. But anyways, he for like he didn't even like live there. I maybe he did. He never had a room, but he was always there. Maybe he was sleeping on the couch or something like that. But he was there, and for like a week straight, he had been taking like massive amounts of mushrooms, like all day long. Wake up and just take mushrooms, and just all through the day. And he would walk around like the backyard and the house with this little bullshit headset, like a CD player. Like the iPods had already came out at this time, and he's just walking around with this shitty little headset, and just don't know what he's listening to, and just it's just yeah, not saying anything to anybody. And when he would start saying stuff after a few days of this just mushroom binge, it didn't make any sense. Like it was just like, what is he talking about? And he's just in La La Land. Like we pretty much had just let him be. You know what I mean? He's just being an idiot. And so back to the night on a Sunday night, we're all hanging out. Kids asleep in the room. There's like eight of us in this other room, And then Adrian had finally like went to sleep, like kind of early. Like he had passed out at like 9 o'clock on the couch. And he's out. Like he's been pushing it to the limits for what this is. Adrian's the hippie guy. He's been pushing it hard. He's just passed out on the couch. And yeah, so I'm me being kind of a piece of shit I was when I was younger. I'm still a piece of shit, but whatever. I was kind of a dick. We had this like they'd gotten a bunch of the kids that went to the barter fair were taking ecstasy. And so like they, I don't know if you've ever been around people that have taken ecstasy, but usually the ridiculous ones will have toys, like neon lights and anyways, they had this like toy. I don't know if you've ever seen like, you'd see them at like a theme park, like a flashlight that you turn on, but it like spins in the front and just like it has like one little string that sticks up and it'll be like blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. And it'll like change. And so when you turn it on, it spins and it just like makes this circular like pattern that just like in and out, like red, blues and just weird thing. So they had one of these and I'm like playing with it. Like we're all sitting in this room talking, playing with this light. And I get this idea to like, I was gonna go stick it in the kid's face that's sleeping in my room. So I go in, I like open the door, it's pitch black, this kid is out. And he's been on like an acid bender, so he's like out of it. And I walk in the room and like stick this light like right up next to this dude's face, just like right here, and turn it on. And it was literally the funniest goddamn thing you've ever seen in your life. This kid just out and turns on, he just just freaks the fuck out. Like his face, just like he was seeing God. It was fucking hilarious. Hilarious to me. I realized it was a piece of shit thing to do. It scared the living shit out of this kid. And I'm like busting up laughing. And I go running out of the room. Just boom, boom, right back into the room at 8 people. Just laughing hysterically. I think someone came with me. I think Chris was there. I think Chris went into the room with me. Yeah, one of my old buddies. Anyways, if you watch this, Chris, I'm pretty sure it was you. And we like laugh and go running into the room, but it might have just been me. And I go run into this room, like 8 people. And like the kid that I just woke up is like now furious, like pissed. He's like gathered what just happened and he's getting up, like coming to yell at me. Yeah. He doesn't even know who did it. He's just all pissed and he's coming out of the room and I just like weasel back into this room and like pretend like we're all just sitting there. And so you see this kid, like, you can see out of the doorway. We have the door open. You can see him like starting to come out of the room, like furious, like pissed off. But like out of nowhere, like as he's about to walk into the room, Adrian, the hippie dude that's been passed out on the couch, gets up and walks over into the doorway and like stands in the doorway, blocking the super pissed off kid that I just pissed off with the light, like blocking him. And he's just standing in the doorway and Adrian is fucking furious, like, and we're like, what the fuck, why is Adrian, and he's madder than fuck, like just, who the fuck is making all this goddamn noise, and just like, whoa, what, and he's just like, who fucking did that, and just like, what are you talking about, like no one had even done anything to this dude in the couch, he's just like freaking the fuck out, and he's just standing in the doorway, and all 8 of us are like, what the fuck is he freaking out about, and he just, who fucking did this? And then he like, there's like this lamp, like a tall fucking skinny lamp that like a 6 foot tall one. And he just turns to this lamp and he's like, maybe it's this fucking lamp. And just grabs this lamp and slams it on the ground. And we're just like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, and he like legitimately thought it was like, maybe this lamp just did all this. Just fucking, maybe it was the fucking lamp. And we're like, what the fuck? And then the dude behind him is just like, what? Like, because he's like mad, but now he's so confused. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? All of us just, what the fuck is happening right now? He's so fucking mad. Like, at a lamp. Like, fucking, this lamp just ruined his sleep. And then, like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. And then he's just like, storms out of the room and just screaming throughout the house. And he's just like, I'm gonna shit in all your fucking shoes. He's just like, what, bro? It was so fucking ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Well, to expand on this story, like a few weeks later, whatever. So that all died down. But like a few weeks later, I'm in the other house. I'm in the back house. like I don't know, playing video games or something. I was like by myself, and the owners of the house or the people who were like renting to everybody, they weren't there. And so I was like at this time, like I wasn't like the leader of the group, but I was like the most trusted in the house. I don't know, because I was starting to become really close with the people that were renting everything to everyone, Trish and Uriah. And I think I was living in the back house now with them. And then everyone else, all the degenerates were in the front. I was still a degenerate, but I'm in the back house like by myself. And the Nazi girl with the swastika on her back, she comes in the back house and she's like freaking out. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And she's like, you got to get in the front house. There's shit's going down. So I go in the front house, and the Adrian guy and this Brian guy who was dating the girl with the swastika, they were like nose to nose, like screaming at each other, super fucking pissed off at each other, like literally almost touching noses, screaming at each other. And like both, it was kind of a scary situation because Adrian was like mad, like extremely pissed off, and not, he could probably beat the shit out of most of the people in the house, if not everyone in the house. And then the Brian guy was like fucking a little crazy too. So it was like, what's going on? So I come in just like, being as fucking staunch as I can. Fucking, I'm just like, hey, and I don't even know what they were really fucking arguing about. But I just come in the house, they're screaming at each other. I was like, putting the law down. I was just like, Adrian, you need to get the fuck out of the house. Like, get the fuck out of the house. Like, you need to leave. And he's, fuck you, man. I'm like, dude, just leave. Like, let's just settle this now. No reason for this. Just get the fuck out of the house. And so Adrian leaves, gets on his bike, takes off. He's fucking furious, pissed. And so we like kick him out. I kick him out that night, at least. Whatever. Get the fuck out. He leaves. Everything calms down. Well, the next morning, I had to go to work. And my brother used to come to the house. Like, my brother can't drive. And he would get dropped off by my mom. And then we'd go to work together. We were doing construction. And so he'd get dropped off every morning. And I'm young and a piece of shit. Didn't really have a good work ethic going on at this time. And so he would essentially wake me up every morning. Like, we got to go to work. And it would be like, we have to leave like now. And so it was the normal situation. He wakes me up and we go to work. And, whatever. I think he might have said something that morning, but it didn't even like click in my head. But I think it was like the next day when all the pieces started gathering. Anyways, we go to work. I come home that night, and the stories start rolling in about what's happening. And so that morning, fucking Adrian, the hippie dude, had broken back into the house. This is like a week after the lamp situation. Fucking, he breaks back into the house. Like I'm assuming at like 5:30, 6 in the morning, like, cause it was right before I had to go to work. And cause like he was leaving, my brother saw him leave the house as he was showing up. And like he comes in the house and the Adrian dude's leaving, but he didn't think anything of it cause he had no idea what had happened the night before. He's just like, oh, Adrian got up early, he's leaving. So anyways, like when when we get back to the house, the story is he breaks back into the house while we're all sleeping. And goes into like everyone's room and gathers all the pipes in the house, like every pipe in the house, which was a grip of pipes, like little pipes. Grabs all the pipes in the house and everyone's toothbrush and puts it in the toilet and pisses all over it, and like just this mound of shit inside the toilet, and then fucking takes off. And that's the last time we ever saw Adrian. Yeah. I hope you guys like the story. I'm Beavs from Beaver Dam. And that's the Adrian story. You guys have a good one. Bye.